Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Umineko When They Cry. We will be jumping into episode 2 at some point in this video, I'm sure, but it has been about a little over a month since I had finished off episode 1. I was definitely going ham and trying to finish that one off because, well, I have to admit I was hooked. I mean, everything was falling apart so beautifully, and I could just not stop, reading and really just seeing what was happening and trying to figure out, is there something that we can take away and figure out this mystery? Nope, I got nothing. And even during this past month or so, I haven't really thought of anything too outside of the box, which I was hoping I could have, but then I remembered, oh yeah, I suck at puzzles. Mysteries? Riddles? Any of that? Nope, I suck at all that, but I'm still kind of compiling, predictions and any, thoughts that come to mind as we venture through. There are some, just kind of ideas that I'm wanting to keep in the back of my head. I'm trying to keep in mind how a lot of the deaths kind of went in episode 1, because we might be able to connect some dots as we go back through everything with episode 2. I'm assuming that it's going to be going through all of that again, but there's going to be a different sequence of events. It's going to take the Higurashi route. Maybe. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But there's this whole idea of, is there a witch or isn't there? It's getting easier, or I guess you could argue it is very easy to just sit down and say, yep, this is all supernatural, case closed. But no, there has to be more to it. There just has to be. If there isn't, then why are we here? Why are there 8 episodes of this? There has to be more going on than, more than meets the eye, really. So one of the things that we did not do, or that I did not do as we closed off the previous video, was looking at the character logs for episode 1. I think maybe I looked at it and maybe read like one thing. Maybe I read up on Beatrice very specifically. But as I was just looking at this, apparently there is a witch side, so you can look into the witches, but for both of the human side and the witch side, you can kill them and you can bring them back to life. So there's I guess different logs or different information that you can get for every character based on if they're alive or dead. And we've already read through everybody's alive information, I'm pretty sure. I don't think we need to go back over anything, but if I'm confused on something, I might. It sort of just depends. Also, I've definitely, forgotten some character names, and, it'll take me maybe a couple videos or so to fully get back in the driver's seat, be totally, reacclimated with the absolute bullshit that we have of a situation. But it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun getting back into it after a little break. So I would say that's why I'm both nervous and excited to jump back in, is because there's going to be a whole lot that's going to be immediately thrown back in my face, because this isn't a new playthrough. This is a continuation of one, and I've taken a small break from it, and there's a lot of moving pieces. So I think maybe we read Beatrice's profile here, but I may have forgotten it, and by may have, I definitely have, so I'll read it here, along with some of the other logs here. But Beatrice is the golden witch who has lived for 1,000 years, and she has already surpassed the limits of humans. No surprise there, and it is said that she will appear in response to a human summons, just as demons do, to lend them her power for a price. Likes black tea and ice cream, hates boredom and those who deny her existence. What a nice couple of just, little tidbits there at the end. And now on the witch side, and we just read Beatrice's, but another character that we got introduced to at the very end, the whole final video that I recorded that for episode 1, I don't know what to take away from all of that. We had the tea party, which was informative. It's to remind us, hey, there's still a mystery here. The credit sequence also brought up more mystery elements. There's other things going on. And then this character popped up. This character, who I've got some questions, and I may have asked some of them in the previous video, but I'm going to keep them to myself because I don't know what to think. But let us read here. So, this is Bernkastel, the Witch of Fragments, who has lived for 1,000 years. It is said that she lives in a world where concepts like fate and possibility can be made visible, observes the fates of humans, and sometimes interferes, sometimes. And we might be getting that here. She said that she was going to, like, help us out or give us, like, a hint or whatever. So I think that's something that we get to, I guess, grasp here in this second go around of the story. So, in other words, sometimes she is you and is also your only friend. Understand? No. Likes wine and spicy foods, hates boredom and those who never learn. Okay, that's fair, honestly. Now, a lot of this, you know what? I will ask my questions. A lot of this sounds like a character from another entry into the When They Cry series. And I think we're all on the same page there. And I do have questions on if this has to maybe do with Higurashi Rei. Maybe. I've seen her name pop up before as well throughout the entirety of Higurashi. I think it was her name. I could be wrong. But this character, I feel like I'm going to be the most interested in because I have so many questions on how a lot of things link together, and it gets me so curious and so excited for what could be popping up here in the story. So something else we can do, like I said, is we can execute. So Beatrice is now dead. It is futile for a human like yourself to dream of killing me. Well, that didn't work. Even if you fire bullets at me, they will merely bounce back as though by a mirror and strike you down. However, there is one single way to kill me. You grasp this method in the palm of your hand. I doubt a mediocre fool like you could ever do it. And then her wicked laughs, which is very similar to the way that Maria had laughed, I'm pretty sure. Bring her back to life, and then we've got Bernkastel will kill her by continuing to think I live on for all eternity. In other words, if I stop thinking, I can die at any time. However, I can revive whenever I want if I start thinking again. So I'm fickle and inconstant. I've never seen that word before, but I live as I like, die as I like, and revive as I like. All right, well, here you go. You're back to life. Doesn't seem like there's a true method of killing these two, but there might be something behind Beatrice. All right, let's try killing some of the regular people. If we try to kill Battler... Oh, okay, so it says what happened to him at the end of the episode. So, Battler along with George, I have to remember the names, and Jessica. Yeah, okay, Jessica. They also went missing at the very end. Maria was one of the other ones as well, but she left a note that was a complete 180 of how I had interpreted Maria. You know, being a big fan of the witch and the ideas, you know, behind witches. So, that's an odd case. But going back to Battler, at the very end, the fool who spoiled the world where everyone could have been happy. Beatrice is very angry, but for some reason she looks like she's having a lot of fun. Almost as if he's the first fun new toy that she's had in 1,000 years. If only this idiot could just hurry up and see you like the rest. Yeah, so what we saw in the tea party is that everybody can be happy if everybody believes in the witch. But if there's that outlier, then there's like a discrepancy. Only death will come about. So that's an interesting bit to take with us if we want to continue to believe that there are witches or not. It's getting a little weird, and there's like, not redundancy, but there's an inconsistent thing that I'm saying here. So if we say that Beatrice is not real, and we have to try and prove that, and we have a witch that's trying to help us as well, what do we have going on here, you know? We're kind of doubting ourselves, or I am at least. I'm doubting myself. That's, this is gonna be an interesting one to try and move forward with. Let's kill Maria. Missing and a whole bunch of laughing. Cool. You know what? Let's actually see what everybody's... I think... Okay, no. Let's see. Kinzo... I was gonna say that maybe these are the same messages we'd seen whenever they were dead, but no. This is a different case here. Kinzo was burned alive. Disappeared from his study unnoticed. Kinzo's study has everything from a bed to a toilet to a bathtub, so it is extremely rare for him to go outside. However, he does sometimes go out for a walk on a whim without telling anybody, which on several occasions has led to a huge uproar throughout the house. He usually comes back as soon as he gets hungry. Usually. But he didn't. He did not. Shoot, are these different? Like, are the logs different for the characters now that we know maybe more of them? I mean, I have a general idea about them. If I need to, like, read their alive logs, I will. Let's kill Kraus. Corpse found inside the Rose Garden storehouse. The direct cause of death is unknown. Okay, we start where it all begins. Not too much there. Let's kill Jessica. Missing even though she was given a precious invitation to the Golden Land, a single idiot refused to believe in the witch, and all of the magic went away. Afterwards, she was chewed to bits by demons and went to hell. Oh my gosh, Jessica, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Why hell? Why did Jessica have to go to hell? Like, come on, give her a break. George, I feel so bad for George, guys. It's all coming back now. Yeah, George had it rough in episode 1. Let's see. Missing even though he was finally reunited with everyone and all were getting along so well in the Golden Land, all of the magic was spoiled thanks to a stubborn idiot. Afterwards, he was chewed to the bone by demons and went to hell. Why George? Why did George also have to go to hell? Come on now. Goda, I've got my eyes on you, you son of a bitch. What the fuck is going on with Goda? Let me be honest here with you guys for a moment. Like, I wasn't really expecting some of the comments I got here with Goda. But we'll kill him. Corpse found inside the house. Oh, you know what? Okay, so this is the same thing. I think the kids, as we'll, refer to them, they had different messages because we never saw their dead messages necessarily. So I think we're okay. If there's anything else that you guys think that I should read that may be different, please let me know in the comments. I can always jump back and we can read to our heart's content, I'm sure. Before we start, there's not going to be any adjustments to the Let's Play. It'll just continue as it has been, but I don't know if you guys noticed, but near the end of the Let's Play, I was going quite ham, and I think the previous video was like 2 hours long. I don't want to do that anymore. That hurt. That kind of, hurt the old brain. And I want to be able to properly process a lot of what I'm recording. So I think going forward, I am going to try and, squeeze back to the 50-minute to an hour duration target with Umineko. It's a long playthrough regardless, but it's not going to do me any justice if I don't, fully grasp everything. And I think going past an hour will kind of just kill my ability to really take in everything. But then again, let's be real, a lot of that there at the end was shock factor, and I was there for it. Let us jump into episode 2. I guess I should have read what that said, but who cares? We're okay. I will be okay. I hope I'll be okay. Oh. This story is nothing more than fantasy? I don't know, Beatrice. I don't know. Yeah? Ooh. Oh, we're at an aquarium. So the fish that we were looking at, that actually meant something. Okay, I was thinking we just got a cool, backdrop. Shannon found a pair of hammerhead sharks swimming playfully in the tank and looked as excited as a grade schooler seeing an aquarium for the first time. Ooh, George, goddamn, you are looking fly, my man. Oh, hold on now.
そんなのかわいそうです。知ってますか？水族館に来て美味しそうなんて言い出すのは世界中でも日本人だけなんだそうですよ。
Is that actually the case?
そうなんだ。アメリカ人でもイタリア人でもきっと食べちゃいたいって言うと思うよ。
I have to admit, guys, whenever I see fish, I don't think of them as food, personally. I don't really eat seafood, so I would have to, walk myself out of that category.
その
似合ってるよ。
Wow,
その服。
we're really changing the topic here.
本当に。
So, when is this? What is going on here? Where have we landed ourselves? Shannon clutched at her chest with both hands in embarrassment. She apparently felt like she was being made fun of for wearing these clothes that she wasn't used to. Though George's face didn't show it, he'd actually said something so completely unexpected that it surprised even him. It surprised me. And he was as embarrassed as Shannon on the inside. However, when he saw how embarrassed Shannon was, he started to imagine that he was teasing a girl he liked, and instead of embarrassment, a ticklish amusement welled up in him. No, he wasn't just imagining it. He really was teasing the girl he liked. Before now, he wouldn't have expected, wrong word. I can read. He wouldn't have expected to hear a line like that anywhere else these days, not even in a manga or something. In fact, if he had seen another couple acting like this, his first instinct would be to start throwing rocks at them. What the fuck? Okay. But even if someone were to start throwing rocks at us now, I'm sure they'd be no different than confetti celebrating our relationship. No, I think there'd be a bit of a difference. Now, I can't even remember those lonely days when I felt jealous of couples who were completely oblivious to their surroundings. To use an old-fashioned phrase, these really are rose-colored days that I'm living in. I'm so entranced that I barely notice that massive tank in the world's largest aquarium anymore. Instead, all I see are the expressions flitting across Shannon's face as she plays with the fish.
すごいですね。
You know, I had an opportunity to go to an aquarium, but I didn't. It was right there, even.
クジラを泳がせることができる大水槽なんて。
この大水槽がここの最大の売りだそうだからね。なんでも世界で最大なんだそうだよ。
そうなんですか。それはすごいですね。本当に素敵です。水槽じゃなくて、まるで海の一部をナイフでスッと切り取ってここに運んできたみたい。
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of work that goes into keeping that clean.
そうだね。
Because it has to be on the inside and the outside, I'm
こ
sure.
れはもう立派な。
Despite its size, I hadn't thought of the tank as anything more than a tank. That's why I found her metaphor so interesting. No matter how far humans broaden their expectations, they always end up viewing the world through the lens of their own values. Maybe that's why it's so interesting to interact with people who have different worldviews. I voiced my thoughts on this. She responded.
確かにこれは本当の海ではないかもしれません。
It's real enough for me.
でもここに泳ぐ彼らが海だと信じたなら、これは確かに海なんです。
たとえ有限の水槽の中だったとしてもね。
海だって有限ですよ。仮に無限だったとしても、私たちは生きているうちにどれほどの広さを行き来できるんでしょうね。
You know, I guess that is fair. I mean, what is freedom in a physical sense like that? You know, being able to explore as much as you can. Are you capable of doing so if it really were that infinite? Now, finite space, I think, is fine here for fish because, you know, just like in the real world, there are predators out there. So you have to, you got to be cautious of that, and it can affect your way of life. But here, they might not know it, but the fish may be protected more than they were out there in the sea.
きっとそれは海よりずっと狭い。
確かに皮肉な話だね。世界はこんなにも広いのに、僕たち人間のほとんどは自分の国からも出ずに生涯を終える。
そこが完成された世界だと信じられるなら、たとえ狭い井戸の底だったって立派な世界で海なんです。そこに住むカエルにとっては。
Shannon, who had spent her days as a servant on a small island 10 kilometers in circumference called Rokkenjima, said that with a smile. No, that is fair to bring up. Interesting discussion to have. Turn on the Golden Witch. Okay. So where are we and what are we doing? How are things going to go in this episode? I do like this this backdrop that we have here. This is a nice little aquarium. I'm excited to jump back in, by the way, guys. I really am. It has been a while, and I will admit, I've been recording some other stuff that I need to get out of the way, and I've been wanting to jump back into this, but, you know, sometimes you just gotta wait. You gotta focus on the other stuff, get that out of the way. I didn't want to overwhelm myself with a whole bunch of things going on. Joke's on me, I just started another playthrough here. You know, just bad coincidental timing with a little bit of everything, but no, ready to get right back to it and see what this episode has in store with this very wacky and wild cast of characters. Beatrice is going to be, you know, making her position known here, I'm sure. In what way, I don't know. But I wonder if we're also going to get introduced to other characters. I know that there are other characters in this series. Whether they're human or witch, I have zero idea. Oh, but I'm excited nonetheless. Ready to get right back into it. It has really been about a month or so. Damn. Where are we now? We're getting some beautiful areas here to start us off. After we finished walking through the whole aquarium, we had a small late afternoon lunch at a restaurant with a nice view. You can say that again. The word buffet has the power to make any boy's heart leap. Yeah, that's true, actually. I was like that myself once. But with Shannon by my side, this buffet felt different. I couldn't shamefully pile on only the things I liked. I was, how should I put it, worried about my appearance and choose a menu suited for a snob: toast, salad, and coffee. If I'd been by myself, I would have made a pile of oily stuff like yakisoba, mashed potatoes, gratin, and so on.
シャノンはそんな程度でお腹が足りるのかい？だとしたら、男ってのは本当に燃費の悪い生き物らしいね。
別にそういうつもりじゃなくて。
On Shannon's tray, there was only tea and salad. Maybe the mere fact that I thought that she was a whole plate short proved I was thinking with a man's stomach.
ジョージ様こそそれで足りるんですか？男の方はもう少し召し上がった方が良いかと思います。普段のジョージ様だったらもう少しお昼を召し上がられていると思いますよ。
Oh, she is so right.
しまった。そうか。シャノンには僕が本家で昼食をとるとき、どれくらい食べてるのかバレてるんだったね。
No, but I totally understand where George is coming from. When you're out on a date or whatever, dinner, lunch, whatever it is, with somebody that you're still, you know, starting that relationship with, or, just starting to date or whatever it is, yeah, you aren't going to, be digging into the old big ass meal that you would really want to dig into. No, you work up to it, It's all about comfortability, I'm sure.
はい。だから今日はお腹の具合でも悪いのかと思いまして。
No, that's always me. Whenever I go out and about, I tend to go lighter than I usually do, like around home or whatever, just because I'm fucking weird. Shannon was kind enough to guess that I wasn't feeling well. Looks like my stupid attempt to show off made her worry. And apparently my stomach wasn't going to let me show off any longer.
いやもう白状するよ。ついついカッコつけちゃってね。女の子と一緒だからって遠慮しちゃって。
But not just any girl.
だと思いました。
普段からこんな小食で後ろ宮家のお勤めがこなせるのかい？
Shannon fell silent and blushed bright red. Apparently, I wasn't the only one showing off. When I realized that, my embarrassment disappeared completely.
なんだ、シャノンもそれじゃ足りないんじゃないか。 そうだよそうだよ。普段のランチならもう少し量が多いものをペロリと平らげてたよ。
They know each other so well.
女の子のお腹は魔法でできてるから。
Yeah, I think that's complete bullshit. I'm not buying that, Shannon. Sorry.
ということは僕たちは互いに見えっ張りだったってことになるね。もう遠慮はなしにしないかい？
I smiled to show that I wouldn't make fun of her anymore and rose from my seat.
せっかく沖縄まで来たのにゴーヤを食べないのはもったいないからね。ゴーヤの炒め物でも持ってくるよ。シャノンも一緒に行こうよ。ほらほら。
To anyone watching us, we might seem like an incredibly charming and embarrassing couple. But... where's the but? Yeah, there it is. But it's only after becoming a couple that you realize, to us, this exchange of words is everything, our entire world. That's why no matter how much everyone else stares at us, with blank expressions, well, we never notice. Indeed, at this age, I finally understand the feelings of couples who want to endlessly flirt without any regard for their surroundings. After I returned with a plate piled with fried food, Shannon arrived with a pretty cake. While laughing at our fake stoicism, we resumed our lunch.
せっかく海を一望できる展望レストランなのに、あいにくの曇天が悔やまれるね。
Honestly, it's not all that bad. I can imagine it not being that terrible of a time, even if it is cloudy. Luckily, our window seats gave us a view of seaside scenery so grandiose that it extended even beyond our field of vision. However, because of the cloudy sky, we were only seeing a fraction of its usual beauty.
そうですね。晴れていたらさぞや真っ青な海を見せてくれたでしょうに。
I don't know, the feeling I get is when it's cloudy like this, and you are near, the seaside, well, you might get some actual, nice, cool breeze coming through. The weather is nice and not too warm, not too cold, or maybe it is going to be cold. Fuck if I know.
そうだね。普段ロッケン島で海を見慣れてると思うけど、ここの海はきっと格別な青さを見せてくれたはずだよ。残念だな。
あ、でもお仕事の最中に見る海はどんなに青くても灰色と同じです。
Well, that's grim.
でも今日はお仕事中じゃないから。
Apparently, Shonen was doing her best to say an embarrassing line, but I didn't let her get off easy. Nope, time to tease her.
ジョージ様と二人きりで見る海なら、たとえ灰色でも真っ青に見えますって言えたら100点満点でご褒美だったんだけどな。
すみません。
ご褒美は何だったか。
Let's hear it, George. Come on now.
聞いてもいいものでしたら。
ダメ、教えない。
You motherfucker.
ずるいですよ、そんなの。
When I was in elementary school, I was always the kid who got bullied. Well, that's also grim, goddamn. When everyone teased me, I grew nervous and speechless to the delight of the bullies. Back then, I wondered why everyone teased me. But now teasing Shannon like this, I understand why. This is so much fun. Yeah, bullying people beneath us, fuck yes. No, I get it. When you're in a relationship, being able to tease and mess around with your partner, that is a lot of fun, honestly. I can play with their emotions however I please, and I can have them all to myself. Right now, I can't think of any greater pleasure. That's why I have to go easy on her. It's not as though I want to make her feel embarrassed and upset. So I decided to be nice and change the subject. Best not to be too obstinate.
ジョージ様は秀吉様の血が濃いみたいですから。
Oh my
気をつけない
god.
とおデブさんになっちゃいます。
Yeah, George, you gotta better watch out, man. I have
じ
to
ゃあシャノン
agree.
は僕がおデブになったら嫌いになっちゃう？僕はたとえシャノンがおデブになっちゃっても嫌いにならないよ。
This is a very sensitive subject. Be very careful here, George.
ちゃんと体を気遣わないと健康にって。
Yeah, it's not all about
母さん
looks.
にもよく注意されるよ。つまりそれはデザートのケーキは控えろってことだね。
Yes, this is the very
じゃあ仕
roundabout
方
way
な
of
い
her
から
saying, do
シャノ
not
ン
eat
が
the
そのケー
fucking
キを
cake.
頬張るところを眺めていてあげるよ。
その、 キ丸々一つはさすがに食べ過ぎだと思いますけど、半分くらいだったら大丈夫かもしれません。これ、本当に美味しいんですよ。
Shannon cut her own cake and tried to move half to my dessert plate. I had no doubt that she wanted to share the delicious cake's flavor with me. However, I meanly pulled my plate away from her. She blinked in surprise. She couldn't seem to figure out if I was refusing the cake or not. So I winked, opened my mouth, and said, oh my god, George. Where is this Riz coming from?
それが一番したかったんです
Is
ね。
this even Riz? I don't know anymore. I struggle to follow the lingo of the youth. What the fuck is happening? With a partly embarrassed, partly exasperated face, Shannon offered the cake to me with a fork. Chomp. It tasted like a cheap chocolate cake that you might find anywhere. And yet, it was exceptional. Because eating cake in such an embarrassing way, as if we were a couple of perfect fools, had been my dream for many years. It made this cake's flavor heavenly. If the earth is destined to end, I wouldn't have any regrets if it happened right now. It was such a moment of bliss. Yeah, I can't relate, honestly, but, you know, go off, George. You're doing great. And, you know, fuck you too, George. After that, we gathered shells, ran from waves, and enjoyed each other's company while walking along the beach. In the end, the clouds never parted. However, we both believed that the sea reflected in our eyes was a deep blue.
なんだか幸せすぎて怖くなります。
たまに言うね。何を怖がることがあるんだい？
私、後宮家にお仕えする使用人です。そんな私が後宮家に連なる方とこうしてご一緒してるなんて。
Oh, it is a grave sin, I'm sure.
過ぎたことのように思えて。
I know that Ava, George's mother, I think that is Ava, right? I'm kind of remembering, right? Anyways, I think she did not really like the fact that George was seeing her, and deep down felt that, you know, yes, you know, she's out of the picture, all will be okay, and, you know, the money is mine, and whatever else.
僕もびっくりしてるよ。
Too bad that all didn't work out.
シャノンちゃんと出会ったのは昨日今日のことじゃない。何年も前から面識もある。でも年に何度もない親族の会合の席で挨拶をするだけ。そんな君とこうして一緒に過ごせる関係になるなんて全然想像できなかったよ。それはシャノンもでしょ。
Why the pause? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what the fuck's happening?
私はその
君のその信じた心のおかげだね。思う力には魔法が宿る。
Oh, here we go with the magic talk, and now we're combining it with love.
だからその魔法がきっと僕らを巡り合わせてくれた。
そうですね。多分きっとそれは本当に魔法だったんだと思います。
でもね、そんなことはないんだよ。僕の中でも毎年出会うたびに美しく見違えていった君の存在はとても大きくなっていた。
Hey, George, hold on now. Remember to continue to compliment her personality and stuff too. It's not just on the outside that
君にとっ
counts.
ての僕も同じものだとしたなら、今日ここに僕らがあることは必然の結果であって魔法や奇跡なんかじゃないのさ。
奇跡はあったんです、ジョージ様。
She stopped walking down the beach, gazing out beyond the sea.
奇跡？
魔法あったんです。
I was bewildered by that slightly mysterious phrase, which I sometimes heard her use.
魔法が？
はい、魔法です。言っても信じてくれないでしょうから。
Yeah, let's avoid all that,
でも
shall we?
確かにその魔法には私とジョージ様を巡り合わせてくれる奇跡を叶える力がありました。
それは何かのおまじないのこと？
そうですね。そういうものの類かもしれません。一つ違うのはおまじないなんかじゃなく本当。
I really need to make like an adjustment to my monitor. Either I need to try out the other graphical setting that this game has, or I need to make an adjustment with my monitor, because my monitor is one of those ones that it'll latch onto anything that's full screen and like adjust the refresh rate so that it matches this. And I think this is like an odd like 40 or 48 frames per second always. So sometimes it like does a light flickering with my display, and it's awfully annoying. So I either need to disable that for this game in particular, or I need to try out the other graphical setting here, which I've been meaning to do. I just haven't. You really only get clunky ways of playing through Umineko When They Cry. Maybe it's all girls, not just Shannon, who tend to treat encounters as miracles or coincidences. For a man like me, an encounter with a girl is 70% hard work to try and make her like you, 20% courage, and 10% coincidence. I don't know if I can agree with the percentages necessarily, but no, there's definitely hard work that is there on both sides. But I mean, I have to agree that in the relationships that I've been in, and more specifically my last one, I definitely did put in like months of work to, you know, make it come together. And then it became, you know, mutual work, and I guess the courage to be able to do all that. I don't know about the coincidence part, but I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into, you know, trying to be with someone that you do like, or just trying to be with someone in, you know, in general. The part that means everything to her is a much smaller factor in my mind. Maybe that way of thinking itself is calculating and typical of men. But if I said that out loud, it might dissolve all kinds of magic. To my mind, there were lots of coincidences, compromises, and expended effort on both sides before we gained the relationship we have today. At the culmination of all of that, well, we get to spend this joyful time together. And if she wants to call that magic, well, I've got no objections to her choice of words. So I'll stand up for that magic.
そうだね。同じ運命を100回繰り返したら、僕と君がこういう関係になる結果は一度しか起こらないものだったかもしれないね。互いを意識し合いながらも、僕たちは他人行儀な関係を今も続けていたかもしれない。そんなよその世界の僕らから見れば、今の僕たちはまさに奇跡のような関係に違いないだろうから。
Oh, we're getting into some weird discussions now.
そういうのじゃなくて、本当に魔法なんです。男の方にいくら言ってもこういうのは信じてもらえないんでしょうか。カノン君も全然信じてくれませんし。
信じるよ。僕が信じなくて魔法が解けたら嫌だからね。
ジョージ様。
Damn, that was a good move right there, George. I'll give you that one. In a small voice, I apologize for saying something that trivialized her magic. Shannon seemed to be glad to hear me say that. After all, if two people believe in the magic of love, it becomes eternal.
そうそう。
Yeah, hopefully that all works out.
僕からわがままが一つあるんだけど、聞いてもらえないかな。
Uh-oh.
はい、何でしょうか。
そのジョージ様って呼び方、嫌いじゃないけど、もうなしにしないかい？もちろん、後ろ宮家では対面もあるだろうから、ロッケン島での普段まで強制はしないよ。
But outside of the island.
でも、二人きりの時はなしにしよう。うん、そういうルールにしよ
う。ルールですか。もし破ったらどうなるんでしょう。
そうだね。ルール違反には何か罰ゲームがないといけないかもしれないね。
I mean, I would have said like, oh, I'd be sad, you know, otherwise or whatever.
そうだな。
But I guess
何がいいかな。
I guess that's not a good thing either because, well, that's just a guilt trip sort of thing.
聞きたい？い
え、聞きたくありません。
何がいいか、僕も考えておくことにするよ。
はい、ジョージさん。
Oh, god damn, alright.
うん、素敵な響きだね。嬉しいよ、シャノン。
私もサヨという名前があります。
Oh, that's right.
そっか、ルールはフェアじゃないといけないね。僕もそれを守って、今から君のことをサヨと呼ぶことにするよ。いいね。 さよ。
はい。
Damn, these two lovebirds here. So I'm assuming that this is all prior to what went down, what we have witnessed. So, yeah, this is probably, you know, just how close they were. Right to the end. I held her shoulder and drew her close. When I forcefully pulled her delicate body towards me, she dove into my chest like a doll. As I held her head in my arms, we both looked at the horizon.
真っ青な海だね。この海を二人で見られてとても嬉しいよ。
私もです。この真っ青な海をあなたと二人で見ることができて。
As we gazed at the gray sea and a light rain began to sprinkle down, we kept listening to each other's heartbeats. Yeah, get a room already, you two. God damn. What if we jump right to the part where, like, he finds her dead? Like, damn, that's how we're starting. Nope, we're going right back to a different type of the sea. A dangerous part of it. The sound of waves flows into my ears. No, it's the sound of an enraged sea. There we go. My body bathed in painfully cold splashes does not allow me to forget. It won't let me forget the memories of the day my old fate was broken and smashed. Once, tomorrows were literally like looking into a mirror. All I ever saw there was the person I already was. Tomorrow was absolutely no different from today. That was my old fate. But then, for the first time, I saw a different fate beyond the mirror. The witch whispers to me. She tempts me to take a bite out of the fruit of knowledge. She torments me, saying I'll be furniture as long as I stay in God's paradise. So I decided to choose the path of knowing love and tried to become a person. Those days were like sweet honey. But at the time, I didn't realize that they'd be the start of a new kind of suffering. Wonder what that entails. I've arrived at a small island on a motorboat I've only just learned how to use. No, this can hardly be called a small island. Now, I mean, 10 kilometers is quite the fucking size. It's little more than a rock jutting out of the water. On this rock is a torii and a small shrine. It was probably built to worship the guardian deity of Rokkenjima. Even though I don't know exactly what it signifies, I know it has to be something holy. Even in a place like this, I've got to take just one more look around to see if there's anyone who might get mad at me for coming. I see nothing but the stormy ocean, Nijima looming in the distance, and the waves breaking against Rokkenjima's steep cliffside. So this wasn't here, I think, whenever we arrived in episode 1. This was gone. I ready myself, timidly approach the small shrine and take the mirror that lies there as an offering. The mirror looks old, cloudy, and dirty. That would probably make any normal mirror seem horribly cheap. However, since the mirror has been placed in this small shrine, its appearance seems to give some sort of divine quality to it. And there is one thing I can tell. This is no simple mirror. It may seem like an old, battered mirror to a non-believer like myself, but it has a great significance. Is it really okay to break this after being captivated by honeyed words? No. This isn't really a mirror. This is the life I couldn't escape until today, my fate. I will break it. I'll smash it and seize the life that lies beyond this mirror. If I don't smash it, my life will be a pair of facing mirrors forever. Nothing will ever change in the slightest. The witch whispers to me. She tempts me to take a bite of the fruit of knowledge. Or maybe I've already tasted of that fruit. After all, I've already experienced those maddening emotions, just as Adam and Eve felt compelled to pluck their fig leaves. I can no longer go on without breaking this mirror. I've struggled with conflicting emotions for many days before this moment. Inside my heart, the virtuous part of me kept on fighting the part that sides with the witch. So just to verify, by the way, like, we're following Shannon right now, right? or George. I'm sure it's Shannon based on the furniture talk, but I'm not entirely sure. And now here I am. Did the part of me that's here right now win or lose? There's only one thing I know. To obtain something, you must be ready to lose something. Cowards who don't risk anything, who never try to change anything, will never be given the key that opens the path to a new future. The key, or that key, is already in my hands. And that key is to break this, to smash it. Is there any other effort I can make as furniture imprisoned in Rokkenjima? No. This is the only way for me. Come, have courage. I'll free myself from being mere furniture. And by accepting a new kind of suffering, I will become human. This is surely a small yet large trial I must impose on myself. Now, break it. I'll smash to pieces the eternity unchanging fate that imprisons me. I raise the mirror high. I think back on the days of conflict that came before, and finishing my reflections in the blink of an eye, I throw it down. Are we gonna get that transition? No, I thought we were gonna get the transition that was the end of the chapter. That would have been perfect. The thunder roars, crying out against me for my outrageous act. It truly is the hatred of angels trying to banish me from eternal paradise. I look down at the mirror tumbling at my feet, broken in 2 equal parts. And after making sure I've accomplished my task, I scream up at the raging skies. Okay, yeah, it was Shannon. Oh, we're seeing a whole new side to her. Oh, wow, I didn't think she would ever be able to raise her voice like that. Thunder roars once more. I've already been banished from paradise, so I'll have to struggle on my own if I want to live. The witch told me that is the single element of this world. To lose it means losing the world. Like how a canteen with a hole in the bottom can't be filled, no matter how much water you pump into it. And that is... you gotta love it when people shout the name Beatrice. Uh-oh. Hold on. I really don't think I should be watching this. I think I should skip this. I can't skip this. Okay, well, I'm not gonna watch. Yeah, I think it was a bad idea to, tune into that, which I did not. It was suggested to me, and I totally agree last time that, now that I know the characters, and, an idea of what's going on, well, watching the first opening, it's like, well, if there are any spoilers, I'm not going to, grasp onto them. I'm okay. But now that I know characters, now that I have, an idea as to what we've got going on here, well, no, I shouldn't be watching any more openings ever, because that's just going to potentially spoil some things, and I don't want that happening. Anyways, let's see where we're at, and we'll call it here. My mind wandered back to the days when I could barely imagine the happiness I have now. Excuse me, I was a middle schooler at the time. A normal girl who thought about love as much as you'd expect of someone at that age. But in truth, it was wrong of me to have that dream. After all, I am furniture. Furniture is nothing more than a tool, not a human. As a person less than human, simply receiving an education was an enormous blessing. So in reality, even thinking about falling in love was more than I deserved. Okay, so we're still following Shannon. And I guess we're just getting a bit of an inside look as to how things were going from her perspective way before things went down in episode 1. And I'm sure things could be going down in a different way here, but it does seem like from the get-go, we're going to have a bit of the attention turned to more of the internal side of the family, or I guess Ushiromiya's staff here, which I don't know what that can mean. Or it might just be, more so looking into Shannon as a character as well as George, maybe, I don't know. But nevertheless, I am excited to see how things go down here. So we'll wrap it up there, and I guess I will start using the second page. All right, furniture. Yeah, that's right. That is absolutely right. We're in chapter 1. Well, I guess whatever we saw there was a prologue and not a chapter, so we begin again at the very beginning of whatever story we're gonna have told to us here. And I'm definitely excited for it. Another lovely long journey through an episode of good old Umineko When They Cry. Thank you all for tuning in, and honestly, thank you guys for sticking around. If you guys did from episode 1, I am excited to jump into this and continue the playthrough that will seemingly never end. And I'm excited to learn more, see what's going on with this lovely mystery that we have here. I don't know what directions this episode will take, and, you know, that's what made Higurashi a whole lot of fun whenever I was going through all that. You never really knew what was going to go down in those chapters. Sure, the little, you know, Steam, like, tile, or whatever the fuck they're called, the little pictures that would pop up on Steam would kind of give you an idea of, you know, who is going to be focused on. Chapter 1 and 6 were a bit misleading, but you had an idea every time. And just seeing how that would impact the story was a whole lot of fun. So we don't exactly have that here, and it may not be even taking that, you know, direction necessarily, but I am excited, nevertheless, of how things will go down here. Thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, I look forward to reading on and having you guys along for the ride. Take it easy, guys.